Hello and welcome to a very chilly, humble Highland home. Thank you so much for joining me here today. Well, there's been a wee change of plan for this video. I was gathering the tools and the bags that I needed to be heading over to my folks so that I could continue with the work that I've been doing on bringing their veggie garden back into life. I haven't been over to work on their garden since the last video that I did over there, but I had hoped that this good weather would hold for another day or two to allow me to get over to do what I needed to do before winter, but this was not to be. So this was me gathering everything together that I needed, just ready to load the car up so that I could get an early start in the morning. I was even going to take this wee bench over because every garden needs a wee seat to perch on, and given that my dad made this, it seemed quite fitting. The bridge over the burn is incredibly slippy at the moment, so I'm very careful when I walk over it. Well, we woke up to -7 degrees centigrade temperatures this morning and a wee sprinkling of snow, so no travel for me today, but a lot more snow is forecast. So I've made a wee list of outside jobs that I want to get done before the thick snow arrives here. I must admit I am looking forward to a bit of a break now, what I call my autumn and winter nesting season. Mother Nature is now insisting that a rest period is upon us, and there is very little that we can do outside under a thick blanket of snow. So today is a final push for me to get the things done that I want to get done outside before winter, and so I can retreat and rest up for a little while before we start with the Christmas preparations. Given I have a few of my most used garden hand tools in this bucket that I was taking over to my mum and dad's, and I also have some old compost bags that I would have been using to hold the weeds and to cover the ground space. So I won't be needing them just now, but I can take this opportunity to do some maintenance on my hand tools. I think, like most gardeners, I have my favourite garden tools, most of which I've had for a very long time, but I also want them to last for a very long time yet, so I like to look after them. Now, I would normally do some of this in the garage or in the shed, and I will be doing that with the bigger tools on another day, but I don't want to be out here any longer than I need to be, so I will be putting the work tray on the kitchen table, and I will be doing it in the warmth of the kitchen. I don't need these bags just now, so I'm going to fold them up and put them back into the storage area that I've got in the polytunnel. I've mentioned in previous videos how I recycle these bags, so I like to have a wee stash just ready for me to use once again. Next, this is a job that has just not been at the top of my priority list, so I'm going to be washing the windows. I see this as me feathering our wee nest for the quieter months ahead. As much as I really appreciate living in this beautiful wee cottage, it is a thought to come out and wash the windows on such a cold day. But once I get going, it doesn't take long. I've got some nice warm water and I've got double gloves on, and it will save me clearing around the doors in preparation for me making our simple Christmas wreaths. As I mentioned, I wear a double layer of gloves for today's temperatures, and I tend to do that in winter time with whatever gloves that I've got on outside, whether it's work gloves, rubber gloves for water, or just normal woolly gloves, especially when I'm out in the hills. I do this as my hands can get quite sore in winter time. Like a lot of other people, I suffer from Raynaud's, otherwise known as white finger, and I also get cracked chapped skin. So I have to really look after my hands because they look after me. Next, I'm making sure that our log piles are well stacked inside the house and here just under the porchway. We try to have a regular stack of firewood built up throughout the year, and now that we have the new log store, we have somewhere more substantial to store it. I do find it's aesthetically pleasing to see a well-stocked log pile, especially in times like these, and with the approaching snowstorm, it gives comfort knowing that even if the power goes off, as it does occasionally, we can still cook, receive light and heat from the log burner. Most of the wood that we will be burning this year and next year has been purchased, as we will have to wait a couple of years before our own cut wood will be dry enough to burn on the log burner. Even with this wood, we like to bring it inside for as long as we can before we actually burn it, and we do a moisture check using a moisture meter to make sure that there is no green wood being burnt. Burning green wood is really not good for your fire nor the environment. In the previous video, as I was getting the garden ready for winter, I showed that I'd drained and rolled up the hose pipe. Well, Adam's actually saved me a wee job that I don't have to switch off and drain the outside tap, as Adam has already done it. And he's put all the hose pipes away as well. So thank you, Adam. So today has been a productive day for me, working within the shorter daylight hours. And I thank you to Mother Nature for giving me permission to rest, read a book, cuddle a kitty, and enjoy the cozy fire. Thank you all so much for joining me here today. For those that are experiencing bad weather, please stay safe, take care of yourselves and your neighbours, and I will see you in the next video.